Hello, we're now ready to do the second part, so day 2 of the night before pancakes. Before we get started, I'm just going to read through the directions for day 2, and then we'll go ahead and get moving. So directions are pretty simple on day 2 just because we're just making the pancakes now and then you get to eat them. So you're going to get out your griddle and you're going to preheat the griddle to medium-high heat. You will get out your batter, whether it's in a bowl or a Ziploc baggie, and the important thing today is not to mix the batter, and we'll talk about that here momentarily. You'll scoop the batter using a 1/4 cup dry measuring cup, or if you have like a bigger scoop, you can use that. You'll cook pancakes on the first side until bubbles form and pop on the top, about 2 to 3 minutes. Then you'll flip them and cook them on the other side, and then you can put them on a platter and enjoy. So very easy today, very simple. So what I'm going to start with is I have my griddle here in front of me. I know it's a little hard to see, but it is plugged in. So I'm turning mine on to 350. My highest is 400, so I'm just going to do 350 is good. And I did make a quick video about griddles and just some small appliance safety, but just as a reminder, if you didn't watch that, if you've never used a griddle before, this top part here is what gets hot, and that's what we're going to be cooking on. So what you really need to be careful of is just bumping this. You want to make sure that you're clear of this area. I actually, when I was younger, hit the above my elbow here on the griddle, and I had a very nice burn mark for quite a long time there. So you really have to be careful, especially if other people are in the kitchen too. Just remind them that this is on. So we're just going to kind of let this go for a minute, and then I'll show you a couple tricks that you can do to see if it is hot enough. But while that's heating up, I just want to pull across my batter here. So we have the batter. Hopefully you see some air bubbles in yours. That's what's supposed to happen. It's just with the reaction of the baking powder that we put in yesterday. So you do not want to stir that, because if you stir that, you're going to break up all those air bubbles that formed, and then your pancakes will not be as light and fluffy as they should be. You also today, if you want to have any add-ins, I chopped up some strawberries and I have some chocolate chips here. When we pour the pancakes onto the griddle, you can just sprinkle whatever toppings and stuff that you want in them, because again, you don't want to mix them in the batter, because that's going to defeat the purpose of leaving the batter in the fridge overnight. So you just kind of want to just sprinkle them on top when you actually have your pancakes out. So I can feel this getting pretty hot. I just am going to take a little bit of water, and if you do this on your griddle, once it's hot enough, that's going to start sizzling. Mine is not yet, so I'm just going to give it a minute or two to get a little bit warmer, because you want it at a nice hot temperature for those pancakes to cook. Alright, so I turned the video off for a second, but I think we're hot enough, so I'm going to do that one more time so you guys can see. I just got my fingers wet, and I'm just going to kind of do that. You can see the bubbles. I don't know if you can hear that. It's kind of far away. But once that starts happening, you know that it is hot enough, so you can start putting your pancakes onto the griddle. So I have this nice big scoop. I use it a lot for cupcake batter and also when I do pancakes. So I'm just going to take my batter, take my scoop. Again, we're not stirring, and I'm just going to put my batter. I usually can get at least 6 to 8 pancakes on this griddle, so you can make them whatever size you want to. If you want to make letters, different shapes, that's fine too. You have a lot of time since you're stuck in house, so you can be creative. The pancake batter you can dye with food coloring as well to make different colors. I'm just keeping it simple, but use your creativity in your own kitchen. So at this point, I am going to start to sprinkle some of my add-ins on. So I'm just going to take them and I'm just going to put them right on top here. I'll do half and half. And you're just going to sprinkle them on. Gotta do chocolate chips because my husband won't eat them otherwise, and I can't eat all of these by myself. So we're just sprinkling. And this is a nice way because maybe not everyone in your family likes strawberries, maybe somebody wants some blueberries, maybe somebody wants some chocolate chips. So this is a really nice way to personalize things as they're cooking. So as these pancakes are cooking, and you can kind of see it in the videos, you can start seeing air bubbles coming up, and that's exactly what you want to have happen. You want air bubbles to come up to the surface, and then they're going to start popping, and that's kind of your cue to go ahead and flip them over. You want them a nice light golden brown on the opposite side. So if you're a little unsure, you can just take your turner here, kind of peek underneath. I'm going to give it another minute or so, but just make sure they're nice golden brown, and then you can flip them over and they'll cook on the other side. So I'm going to go ahead. You want to carefully get underneath there, flip them. Now with my griddle, I forgot to mention this, mine's nonstick, so I never spray it, but you may want to use some vegetable spray at your house depending on what kind of griddle you have, if it needs it, and that will help you easily flip the pancakes over and they won't get stuck. I'll let that one cook a little bit longer. These are a little big too, hard to flip. So you can see as I'm flipping these that they're a nice golden brown color. It's exactly what you want. This one got stuck in the corner here. Alright, so now you're just going to let them cook until the other side gets golden brown and they're cooked all the way through. A lot of times we're tempted to take our turner and kind of smush them down in hopes that the stuff that's not cooked in the middle kind of gets to the bottom. But you don't want to do that. It's going to totally defeat the purpose of having light, fluffy pancakes. You just want to give them some time to cook that way, because you can see we have nice height on these, and they are a good pancake. So again, just keep an eye on it. You want to make sure that everything does get cooked, especially since we used raw egg in here yesterday. So you want to make sure they're at a good temperature. But you can just kind of peek on the underside and see where they're at. So like this one, get nice and golden brown on the bottom. That's exactly what you want to have happen. So I'm just going to give them some more time. So I do have some batter left in my bowl, so once these get off the griddle, I'll go ahead and make all of those and then be done for the day. I won't videotape the whole thing though. You've seen once, so you can do it on your own the next time. Okay, so I'm going to check these. See how they are, getting there. Still have a little bit of batter. The ones with the strawberries seem to be taking a little bit longer. So we're good there. Good there. So these are looking good. I'll show you my plate in a second here. And here are our pancakes. Turned out pretty good. I'm excited to have these for breakfast. I'm going to go ahead and make the remainder of my batter, and then I'll come back just to talk about what to do with this griddle once you have that done. Alright, so as you can see, I am all done making my pancakes. So the first thing I'm going to do is turn off the griddle. Before unplugging it, you want to make sure that you turn it off all the way and then carefully unplug it. And then what you're going to do, because I know that you guys just have made a huge mess, because I've seen 6th graders or anyone really making pancakes at school before. So before you start cleaning up that mess that you made, you need to let this cool, because you need to be able to get a wet cloth to wipe all of your mess up. So my suggestion would be to grab some syrup or whatever you like to put on your pancakes and go enjoy your breakfast or lunch or dinner if you're making these, and eat them, and then just let this cool off, and I will actually come back. I'll let mine cool off, and then I'll just show you what I do to clean up. So I hope you enjoyed the recipe. This is very easy to adapt. I know some of you do have allergies and dietary restrictions. So we did use milk and egg in here, and I know some of you can't have that. So it's very easy to substitute different things. Almond milk, if you're able to have that. Taking the eggs out and using an egg substitute. You could put applesauce in there. So there's lots of different substitutions that you could make to adjust it for whatever your health needs are. I just have kind of basic ingredients here at the moment, but gluten, you could use gluten-free flour. I'm sure you have that in your house if you are gluten-free. I do not have that here, but definitely many options to adapt the recipe to fit your needs and the health needs of your family. So if you ever have questions with that, you can always shoot me an email and ask me for some suggestions, or if you have suggestions coming from someone who might be gluten-free or have different allergies, we're always open for suggestions in the FCS department. So I hope you enjoy these pancakes. And stay tuned for some more recipes to come. I will be uploading some more videos as we go through our break. All right, have a good day, guys. All right, hopefully you enjoyed your pancakes and for the most part are cleaned up, but I told you I'd hop back on to show you how to clean up the griddle. So mine is fairly dirty. I'm going to do the same thing that I did when I started. I'm just going to take a damp paper towel, fold it up there, and then just wash off all the stuff. And if you have a little crevice in your griddle in the front, you can put all the crumbs in there and then move them to the front. And there should be a little hole. And this will catch all your crumbs, and then you can take that to the garbage and dump them out. So make sure you clean those griddles and get everything else cleaned up if it's not already, and I will see you next time.